back to another edition of the Hard Knock Life from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm Keith Chow, and I'm joined by the homie, Eisner-winning, two-time Tom Hanks of comics, Cliff Chiang.
Thanks, man.
So last night was pretty awesome.
It was amazing. I mean, I've never won an award in comics, and like just being there was incredible and really kind of humbling. Like I don't know. I just feel like the biggest like imposter syndrome now because I don't feel like I deserve it, you know. And
right.
like, and I love like all the other nominees and their work so much that like would have been so happy to see them win too. So it's
Sure.
like this weird feeling now of like now I just feel guilty.
So if we might have buried the lead, last night was the Eisner Awards here at Comic-Con. If you're not familiar, the Eisners are essentially the Oscars of comics, and Cliff here won Best Artist and Best Series for his collaboration with Brian Vaughan, Paper Girls.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
this is a big deal. We love Paper Girls here at the Nerds of Color. We've written about it many times, and it's definitely one of the examples of the types of comics that we want to see more of. It's about women and girls and women of color. So what is it like to win for Paper Girls?
It's really just such a sweet feeling because I've always wanted to do creator-owned comics, and it's part of the reason why I got into comics. And then now to be doing it and drawing this book that I love and to be recognized for it is really just kind of too much. But yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's really the way comics should be going.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people do love kind of the superhero genre stuff, and but we need to tell different kinds of stories if we want to keep the medium alive.
Right, and then again, especially because the focus on this in particular is on girls and expanding the audience to like girl readers and readers of color.
There's really no reason not to have, female characters. Like we've asked people to always consistently identify with white males for so long, and like why not just flip the script, you know? And for Paper Girls in particular, Brian thought it was interesting to just, there are so many Spielberg-y, E.T. kind of things with boys.
Yeah.
But like what happens when you look at it from a girl's perspective, and then, and then they're also really plucky, independent business people,
exactly.
running around hustling people down for money and like doing this job at insane hours in the morning,
Right.
And so it's a great angle, and I love it. It's just I never imagined I'd be this happy drawing, 4 12-year-old girls running around, and it's just a great kooky story.
Yeah. Well, I love that the use the adjective Spielbergian, because like when you think of like adolescents riding bicycles, right? Like E.T. and even the new Netflix series Stranger Things, where like that's a very iconic kind of image.
Yeah.
And to have like girls and girls of color doing it, I think that's what blows it up.
Yeah. It's funny. The other day I realized it's the only book where I've drawn 5 people of color, I think.
Right.
And I mean, 3 of them are the same person. But still, it's amazing, and it feels really good to have that kind of representation. I mean, it's not explicitly part of the story. My wife and I were talking about this. We were looking for comics and books for my son, who's like 4, and specifically, so many books in that age range are about the Asian experience, as opposed to just having
living.
It being the, part of their story.
Right.
But it's always very explicitly about an immigrant experience, which really doesn't apply to him.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Or me, really.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to just have it just be in there and not necessarily addressed directly by the story.
Right.
But it will tinge things, and there are always little details that I know because I'm Asian, and Brian might not know, and so there are visual things I'll try to do. Like when they all go over Aaron's house, they all take off their shoes. There's no way that girl's letting 4 people come in their house with shoes on, and
I mean, I still give our mutual friend Jeff Yang crap for fresh off the boat, and it's like, why are they wearing their shoes in the house? Right. Who's fact checking over there?
Right. It's probably a union thing. Right. They're required to wear shoes.
They have to wear their shoes. No, and that's a really excellent point too, because like part of the charge of having more representation and diversity in comics, it is having those characters on the page, but I think it is also important having those voices behind the scenes, because like you said, Brian may not be aware, and no fault of his own, but to have someone like you to say, hey, let's do something like this, is a necessary part of that equation.
It's really, and it can be really subtle things that one might not even really like. I can't fault him for it at all. Like, there was a point where he was going to use the phrase "chop chop," and I was like, that phrase has always given me the heebie-jeebies. And kind of I don't, and I wasn't sure exactly why until I looked it up, because I was always like, oh, it just sounds like pigeon, Chinese,
right.
and it is right, and but not everybody knows that that's the source of it. I mean, just sort of it could be a similarity,
right?
But and so we decided to go with something else, but it's not something that he would have necessarily thought of originally.
Exactly.
But that's the benefit of collaboration, and we're stronger because of it.
Exactly. So, what else do we have to look forward now that Paper Girls is an Eisner winning series? It's out in trade already, right?
The first volume is out in trade, and we're in the middle of our second arc right now. Issue 8 comes out at the beginning of August.
Do you feel like there's more pressure now that you are?
The good thing is
because you're already critically acclaimed, but now you have like the proof.
I always feel pressure. I mean, that's the thing. The good thing is we've got like 10, up to issue 10 in the can already, so I can't really be affected by any of it. And then issue 11 doesn't come out till like January or something like that. Right. So we're pretty far ahead, and then I don't. I don't have to get nervous about it.
But when you get to that,
I won't psych myself out. It'll be months from now.
And then you'll forget.
Yeah.
What's your plans with the trophy?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Like I got to clear off space on the shelf for it. I got to move my Bruce Lee figure over one, and my Gotcha Man figures.
There you go.
To make room for it, but I'll happily do that.
Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be like buds with an Eisner winner,
Thanks,
and I'm putting that on my resume.
Right.
And so, where can people find you online?
CliffChiang.com, and then I'm on Twitter as Cliff Chiang, and Tumblr and Instagram and all
you're
that stuff.
You're on Instagram, and you got all your social media bases covered.
More or less. I'm never on Facebook, although I think I have a Facebook page. So, that's
don't contact me through Facebook.
No.
But no, again, congratulations. Thank you for taking time out to talk with us, the Nerds of Color, and stay tuned for more content coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll see you around.
In full color, you see me? The hard knock life. Comics, movies, and TV, Pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this. This is the hard knock life, but not the chicken kind. More like the people in the world seeking perspectives with a different life. The kids who share the interest together.